They did it, finally, at last. We should have realised that the Celtic would have had to do it in conjunction with America. So they wouldn't have put an announcement out early in the morning because the Americans would be sleeping. And it'd be in the middle of the night. Celtic did finally put out the announcement last night when we were live on air. They finally put out that, yes, who were playing in America. And it's Chelsea. Yep, when you look at the website, abc57.com, a news website from that end of the pond, and Notre Dame Stadium will host Chelsea versus Celtic. They're going down the route that it's Chelsea are the bigger team. Notre Dame University have announced today that Notre Dame Stadium will welcome England's Chelsea FC and Scotland's Celtic FC for an international friendly on July the 27th. Tickets will go on sale via Ticketmaster on Wednesday the 27th of March at 10 a.m. local time. We are thrilled to be able to welcome Chelsea and Celtic to the Notre Dame Stadium this summer, said the incoming vice president. It's special that Celtic chose to play at Notre Dame for their first trip stateside in over a decade. And joining six-time English Premier League champions Chelsea will make for an unbelievable experience, to say. I cannot wait for the fans across the world to be able to visit and enjoy the Notre Dame and South Bend community while cheering on their clubs. So yes, that's it. The announcement finally came out. There will be another two teams announced for the American tour against Celtic. It'll be interesting. I wonder if they'll play Beckham's team just to get a real big money one. That would be interesting to watch. But anyway, that's it. Chelsea, you couldn't have picked a worse team. We did think that it was maybe going to be Angie's Tottenham, but maybe we've still got a game in Ireland to come. We're going to end up playing Spurs in Ireland, aren't we? In Dublin. That'll be a complete hoot. Anyway, we move on from that. And there is some other Celtic news. And Adam Idah, Norwich, future at Celtic, as Celtic circle. Celtic are circling Norwich to try and buy Adam Idah, and who's currently on loan at Celtic, the Republic of Ireland International. It says it's coming out of there that there's been plenty of calls for the player. But Norwich want stupid money for the 23-year-old. They're looking at around about 5 million. Is Adam Idah worth 5 million to Celtic? Is he worth 5 million to Celtic? I don't think so. When you look at his stats, right, fair enough. When you look at his stats in the Premiership, he's had 7 appearances. He's had 5 goals in 7 appearances. So on paper, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But they're saying, should Norwich cash in on Adam Idah this summer? There's no fixed option to buy with Celtic in the loan agreement, which is unbelievable. And that's seemingly what led to the fall of Lowell Jr. But coming out down south, it's saying that they want at least 5 million for him. Do you think that he's worth 5 million? And are Celtic going out to go in the cheap with a goalkeeping situation this summer? There's been a lot of speculation that Celtic have made an offer to an out-of-contract goalkeeper playing in the Dutch league. We obviously know that Joe Hart will be retiring, and a lot of us thought he'd maybe go to America. It would have been fantastic way to end his career, but he's just retiring from football altogether. With Joe Hart leaving, it means that we do need a goalkeeper. Are Celtic going to go really cheap and bring in a goalkeeper for absolutely nothing? It's been suggested that we're going to go for a Dutch keeper, and I'm going to give you the stats on the guy first of all, right? So the stats on the goalkeeper. I mean, he's had 22 appearances, he's conceded 36 goals, he's only had 4 clean sheets this season. He's had 2 yellow cards, and he's been sent off. He was also injured. Against Ajax earlier in the season. He was also injured, a really bad injury. He was knocked out against Ajax. But in reality, his team are sitting 16th in an 18-team league. They're sitting 16th in an 18-team league. The last 5 results, they've been beaten. They won 1 game and then they drew. Is that really the standard of the keeper that we want at Celtic going into the Champions League next season? Come on. And people will say, but you're only as good as the players in front of you. It's a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper should be a player that makes all the difference. I mean, Joe Hart's made some fantastic saves and some fantastic howlers, but he's only had 4 clean sheets all season. Come on, is that really? Is this what Celtic have become? We're going to go into the biggest. If we win the league, we're going to go into the biggest competition in the world in club football, and we've got a chance to play about 10 games, and we're going to go in with a keeper that's on the verge of maybe getting relegated out of Dutch league. Seriously, are you willing to accept that as a number one choice goalkeeper for Celtic? We seem to have went from the high of picking an England goalkeeper with 75 caps for England to going down to picking someone that's about to get relegated with these teams. Seriously, is the standard that Celtic are dropping to? It's unbelievable. With money in the bank, why not go and pay some decent money and get a really good keeper? You can't be telling me, unless Celtic want to bring him in as a third choice goalkeeper, which I think is wrong. You've got young Toby, who's been out on loan. And I think young Toby should be given his chance as third choice goalkeeper. If this is the guy that's going to come in and be our number one, I've got a fear for us for next season in Europe. Because let's face it, if he's not doing the job, if he's had only 4 clean sheets, I mean, all season, is that really the standard that we're looking for? And his highest valuation, the highest he's ever been going to be cost anyone was July last year, where you could have bought him for £1 million. 1 million for a goalkeeper. We spent 4 million on Barkas and he was absolute garbage. What are we hoping to get for a player for free? The last time we got a goalkeeper for free was Benji Siegrist. And what's Benji Siegrist done at Celtic? Absolutely nada. Absolutely nada. He's been a third choice goalkeeper and maybe he's leaving because he's chasing these women away down to Australia. Is this really the direction that we want Celtic to be going in? Giving someone that's under freedom of contract the gloves to Celtic Park? Is it the right step forward? I'm just making an opinion. Celtic fans out there can have their own opinions, and this is what the channel's called. It's one Celtic fan's view. So have your opinion in the comment section. I've held off talking about this, but it seems to be gathering a bit of weight. A lot of the Celtic media, the fan media, are running it, and are they getting told something? Are they getting leaks out of Celtic Park, or are they just going by the media? Are they just going by the media and they're all jumping on the same ship? I think it is I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable if you ask me. Sorry, but I don't think that a goalkeeper that is on the verge of relegation in the Dutch league, and let's face it, the Dutch league isn't exactly a hard league. I mean, the only teams that you've got out there of any PSG, Feyenoord, Ajax are 5th in the league. Do you know, they're about to get relegated at the end of the day at the Dutch league. Is that really the standard of the goalkeeper you want? Anyway, talking about players that are away from Celtic and that some players feel the weight of the shirt at Celtic. Brendan Rodgers has said that about Mikey Johnston. Mikey Johnston is a player that's went away down to the English Championship and he's excelling as a player. Some people are saying, well, maybe that's his level. Some people say, well, the Premiership's actually a better standard than the Scottish Premier League. When you see some of the teams that play in the Scottish Premier League, I'm all for one. I mean, look, if the Dutch league can have a team of 18, do you think that people in the Dutch league, the likes of Ajax, the likes of PSV, and the likes of Feyenoord, when they're playing away to teams like Excelsior, to Vitesse, FC Volendam, Almere, to name a few teams down at the bottom. Do you think that they go to their teams and go, oh, this is going to be a shite game? Do you think this is going to be a shit game? No, they don't, because it makes the league a bit more competitive. In fact, that they've got more teams and they only play each other twice. I'm all for extending the Scottish League. Get rid of this nonsense of playing each other 4 times. It's past its sell-by date. It is completely past its sell-by date. And if you're happy as a Scottish football fan of any team watching this video, you cannot seriously be happy with the current setup that's been on the go for years now, only to provide Sky with 4 Glasgow derbies a year. It isn't exciting anymore. It's absolutely boring. The top 6 split is past its sell-by date. It's useless. It makes for ugly viewing when you have a team that finishes 6th on more points than the team that finishes 5th, doing them out of financial gain, and at a time when the English government are bringing out a think tank to put financial gain at the forefront of football. What are Scottish football doing? Absolutely nothing. Sticking with the status quo, making sure that we play each other 4 times a year. Turns out the league's boring. And the only good thing about it is when it comes to the end of the season, you do have a playoff. Keep the playoffs, scrap the top six and play each other twice. Simple. Make Scottish football a bit more better for. I mean, the fact is that the biggest away day of the season is going to be Livingston on the 31st of this month. And Livingston are going to give us over 7,200 tickets. Livingston are going out in a high. I don't begrudge them a single penny, but they know that they're going down. And they're like, well, we better get a big payday out of Celtic and the other side of Glasgow. We better give them as much tickets as we can to make some money before we drop down the league. This is the financial difficulties that clubs have in Scotland. Anyway, that's a rant this morning. Tell them I'm way to work in about half an hour. Anyway, Mikey Johnston is a player that's went down and excelled down in England. And Brendan Rodgers said sometimes the shirt at Celtic is a bit heavy for players. When you leave Celtic, the shirt isn't as heavy. And maybe that's what's happening with Mikey Johnston. Brendan Rodgers says that in fact, he's always known about Mikey Johnston and the excellent talent that he has. But sometimes feels as a player and having that consistency to be able to do it at Celtic, the shirt is maybe too heavy for the likes of Mikey Johnston. And Brendan Rodgers then went on to say, look, I hope he continues his form until the end of the season with West Brom. He's not had that consistency. Brendan Rodgers wanted to keep him at Celtic this season when Mikey Johnston wanted to go out on loan. He wanted to go and play games. Brendan Rodgers wanted to keep Mikey Johnston this season so he can have that consistent run of training with the Celtic first team so that Brendan Rodgers could see really what he could do. And he did get some game time, and people say that Mikey Johnston's a great sub to come on, but maybe it is the time that Mikey Johnston did leave. Anyway, tell me what your thoughts are Celtic playing Chelsea. Who do you think the other two teams will be that will play in America? One of them will obviously be an American team. I'm going to place a bet and say it's maybe going to be Beckham's side, just for that big financial pot of gold that would bring in. And then, who do we play in Dublin? Will it be Ange Postecoglou's Spurs? And on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world.